All right, everybody, and we're back with another episode of Control Breakers here, our gaming podcast side of the thing. We're keeping it more up to date.
We're trying to do. I dare say this show might be the most frequent show we're doing.
Definitely, definitely. So
How crazy is
I
that?
know we were gonna kick off into some stuff, but you just reminded me before we start talking about Assassin's Creed,
Yes,
and
there was a new stealth trailer thing that came out today.
there was that, and I watched it. I'm like, okay, this is cool, but you know what really pissed me off?
What?
I was at Best Buy, or not Best Buy, at Toys R Us 2 days ago, of course, because I'm doing my rounds to buy new action figures.
Of course, I
And
mean, that's what you do.
and they had a stack, the brand new. They just put them out on shelves on Friday, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Um, Assassin's Creed figures. So they
Oh,
have
you
one of
little.
like Connor, Nathan, Kenway, Edward,
Which
all
one
that.
was Nathan?
Uh,
Nathan Drake is Nathan Drake in
I
Assassin's
don't even
Creed?
remember. There was like 15 figures, right? And I'm
Right.
looking through them, and each one includes exclusive DLC you can only buy with this $20 figure, right?
Really?
But not just
Really?
that. No, oh no, not just that. No, I'm not pissed off at that part. I'm like, okay, it's a little sword here or a little part like if you buy what's his name? I can't remember which one of them. If you buy it, you unlock a certain thing for your ship that you can put on a mantle and it's only available through a toy. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool if for big collectors. It
You're
doesn't impact.
collecting figures in real
Right,
life to collect figures in
right.
the game.
It
How meta.
it doesn't impact, gameplay or your overall finishing the game. The
Right,
one that
right.
really got me is two of the figures have, and I am not fucking shitting you. You buy this figure, you unlock exclusive trophy or achievement you can only buy with this code.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I literally
Ubisoft,
put it down.
man.
Shay was like, "Why are you shaking?" I was like, "How much do I play Assassin's Creed and complete them?" She's like, 100% each. I was like, "Now what if I told you I have to spend $40 to do that?" She was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was
Wow,
like,
they
"Bullshit."
they really go overboard
And
on the DLC for
not
this
only that,
series.
I didn't buy the figures, and now I'm just like, I fucking just walked out of there mumbling. I was like, "You motherfuckers!"
It seems like they keep finding new ways to screw you over. And again, it's like I'm sure people in the past have been like, "Oh, you guys are too mean to the Assassin's Creed series." It's like, no, we are the battered housewives of the Assassin's
I
Creed
am fucking
series.
Rihanna right now, okay?
Yeah, basically, because they continue. We want to love this series. We want to recommend it, but they keep pulling bullshit like this. And don't even get me started on Uplay. Every time when I play the new multiplayer
Oh,
for like five
fuck's
minutes, when
sake.
Ubisoft doesn't decide to just cut it off, because fuck you, that's why. I always have to do this Uplay shit, and I always have to get a new one because they're the only one that use freaking Uplay, and I forget my old
Yeah, I
Uplay.
have like 7 accounts, and I finally got one that I remember because I set it to password fucking like, the most basic shit I'll ever
Right, of
remember.
course.
But
Password one.
dude, I literally saw it and I was just like, "Ugh."
Now, that being said, from the stealth trailer that we've seen, I like that they're, trying to promise the fans we're like, no, 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 stealth will be a bigger thing in this game than it was in 3, which again is one of my many issues with this of like my top 10 things I wish they would fix. And it looks like they're trying to,
Well,
but at the
like
same
one
time.
and two had these aspects where there was action moments, right? But
Uh-huh.
like it was very much a stealth game. Like you didn't have to, run in there, stab them. You could run in there, stab them, then run away. It wasn't these giant set pieces, right? And
It's
that's
what I
what the
like.
later games turned to, which I fucking hated.
It's what I like to call Batman stealth or Last of Us stealth or Dishonored stealth because there's a lot of this. It's the way that, you can stealth. It's in your best interest to stealth,
Right.
but if you get into a fight situation, you can fight your way out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, a lot of the problem in 3 is that Connor was just way too fucking overpowered. That guy was the goddamn Terminator from beginning to end, and nothing could stop him.
Right.
I really hope they fix that in later ones because it was just too easy. I could not lose. And that became really apparent. Heck, even in the multiplayer, the couple games that I played multiplayer, never touched it before. I fumbled around and came in first place, and I was actually mad that I came in first place.
I'll be honest with you. I last time I played multiplayer was the second game,
Uh-huh.
and never again am I touching multiplayer.
It's not great.
No, it's
I,
fucking
this is yet
terrible.
another series that did not need multiplayer at
Yeah.
all, but they stuck it in there anyway.
Well, you have to stick it in there because you want that check mark on your box.
Uh, that being said, one thing that they does look like they're doing for the new Assassin's Creed that I do actually appreciate, when you're not on an assassin mission, what's the dude you're playing as? Freaking Edward Kenway, right there. He actually takes his hood down, and I'm like, good, thank you for not looking so goddamn conspicuous.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, you think that dude in the hood's an assassin? I don't know. He seems fine. Let him go.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's just, covered in weapons with a hood. Let him go.
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing at all.
Yeah. So that's that. Now we did want to talk a little bit about a brand new game from probably one of my favorite developers who gave us the wonderful Walking Dead game.
Yes,
Not
and
the Merle and Durrell one though.
no, the good one, the one everybody loved. And they've done a lot of good work before this. We're of course talking about Telltale, and the new game
Oh, their
is.
Back to the Future game was amazing.
You see, again, I never played that, but if it was anything like The Walking Dead, I'm sure it was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, the new trailer there is A Wolf Among Us. This is, of course, in the Fable series of comics. Now, Armin, have you read Fables?
It's one of these things where I have a few of the trades,
Right.
but I haven't touched them.
No, this
And
is
the
funny.
main reason I haven't touched them is the same reason I keep coming back to on our other show, Let's Play Comics, is because I have to review so much shit that I just don't have time.
Yeah, you can't read the shit that you like. Well, it's funny because you've told me before how much you like Once Upon a Time.
Yep.
Well, Once Upon a Time basically ripped
Oh,
off
oh
Fables.
yes. I looked through the first couple issues. I was like, oh, this is like plagiarism from Once Upon a Time's
Yeah,
perspective.
and it even to the point that the writers of Fables have kind of had to come out and say, we might have read a little of it before we started writing the show.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, the creator, Bill Willingham, is actually kind of cool with it. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they were adapting a Fables show when
They
that
actually
fell
were,
through.
yep.
Yeah. But so the basic premise of this game is much like the basic premise of the show, or of the comic story. Not a show. It's not a show yet. You play Big B Wolf, the sheriff of Fabletown, and why, yes, Big B Wolf is in fact the actual big bad wolf from Fable's mythology. And the whole thing is like it's this noir mystery story where everyone involved is actually a Fable character.
That's just like Once Upon a Time. And I mean, one of the best parts is when you run into the characters in Once Upon a Time when you're watching that show, is trying to figure out who they are before the show tells you. So when the game does that, that's gonna be so amazing. Oh god, I'm excited.
Well, that's the twist about Fables is that they're all very upfront about it. Like they even use their own names and everything. It's
Right.
quite clever that way. And like there's this whole really great mythology. It's actually kind of funny. The only reason I got into Fables was because I knew Telltale was making this game and I wanted to know what I was getting into. So I bought like the first 3 or 4 trades, powered through them one day when I had no internet, and actually got a lot done. But the crazy thing about Fables, though, is even though it focuses on Bigby and Snow White for the first little bit, it's actually a much bigger universe, and a lot of the other characters get a lot of play, like Jack B. Nimble and a bunch of the other ones, who they actually make really cool. Little Boy Blue is actually a badass in the Fables universe. Yeah, I know, right?
I might have if I could just find a time to go look at this shit, I would.
It's pretty good. Now the one thing that might throw you for a loop is that Bill Willingham, the guy who does it, he's kind of a right winger, but not in that horrible Frank Miller way.
Oh
It's
no.
just every so often he'll drop a line here and there where you're like, huh, that was kind of weird. It doesn't ruin it, it just makes you stop and think. It doesn't. It's not in every story that he tells, but just every so often he'll drop a bit in there. And we're like, huh, that's weird. But again, he's good about it. Like he actually, he's good about it. He's not Frank Miller where he writes freaking Holy Terror, and you're just like, God damn it, Frank.
Yeah, Frank, get the fuck in. Get out of here, crazy fucking crazy. Get the fuck out of here.
Crazy Frank, what's the matter with you?
Now, want to talk about something else that's crazy?
Sure.
Hey, Joel, if I told you I am sending you a video game console for
I'd be
free,
happy.
you're going to be happy, right?
I'm
But
gonna
what
be
if I
very
told you, okay, Joel, this console can only work if it's online. It can
happy.
only work with this camera that has to look at you all the time because we built the entire thing that way from day one. We can't disable it or the console doesn't work. How would you feel?
Well, I would say it's not so much a gift as you bending me over a park bench and having your way with my asshole.
Well, Joel, what if I told you that everything we just said, we went back on and we lied to you from day one because it all works without it because, hey, that camera I told you about, guess what, Joel? You don't really need it, but we're still just going to pack it in the box.
Well, then I would call you a dirty liar, and I furthermore wouldn't trust you because you threatened to bend me over a park bench and have your way with me.
Oh, so you mean you're not going to trust me because I can always go back on my word?
No, because I'm a logical person, and I mean, if I let you into my home with this console, there's no telling that you wouldn't just turn around in a month, maybe a year, and do the same horrible shit you were saying you would.
Right, because it's in the little agreement you agree on upon signing up for the console that they can change shit at any time.
Yeah, which is kind of the thing with every console that
Just
we
like
sign away
how
our rights.
just like how if you own Microsoft points, they're gonna be gone once they transfer to real currency. So if you don't spend them, you're fucked.
Oh, jeez. This is a horrible hypothetical, Armin. I'm glad none of this is actually happening.
Well, bam, motherfucker, because that's Microsoft.
No.
What the fuck are they
So yeah,
thinking over there?
as you put it, the flip-flop box will be on sale soon.
What?
Uh,
They have literally went back on everything they said. And not only that, I wasn't agreeing with everything they said for the Xbox One with always online. But you know what had me excited about the always online features?
what?
That a console was taking a risk to be the new Steam. Hey,
Mm,
you guys like that Steam? It's digital only. Well, we're gonna have digital only too. And guess what? You have to stay connected. But maybe we'll give you deals. Their game sharing thing sounded pretty damn cool. Their whole family thing where you buy one account for like it was like what $190 a year or $100 a year, and up to
something like
four
that.
people on your console can have Xbox Live. So if your brother has one, he doesn't have to buy a set. That was all cool. They're doing away with all the cool stuff, and they're going back to the basics. So it's like, so you guys are giving us less than before now.
But you expect us to pay the exact same amount of money for the
Ugh.
shit we don't need and for the stuff that you took away. Seriously, it's getting to the point now where it's like if I'm one of the sad souls who actually goes and buys an Xbox One on opening day when it comes out, is there even going to be anything in there? I just expect it to be an empty box by the time I get there. Like, hey, we took away more features. Now we're taking away the box. Now you can't even have that.
Just honestly, what are they doing?
I think this may go down as one of the great boondoggles of modern gaming.
And
Like, I mean, if you're gonna be shitty, at least stick to your guns about being shitty.
like not only like it does that part bug me, their complete terrible communication
Uh-huh.
and not sticking to any of their guns. What
Mm-hmm.
really fucking just gets at my core, right, is they're playing this off like it's cool. Okay, if their goal is to ship, Microsoft and Sony have to ship 2 million units by
Right.
Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm. There's
If
already
that
rumors that the PS4 might be out in October of all
And the
time.
thing is, to meet that date, professional analysts have already said production has started on August 1st.
Yeah,
The consoles are already being made. They're being packaged and ready to meet that demand by Christmas. In a month and a half, they have to have
hmm
those numbers, right?
that's gonna be the war zone Christmas, because it
Place,
always is.
PlayStation, they have their shit down. They don't have to fix up the box. They don't have to fix up the software. It's in there and it's done. Microsoft is needing to meet that demand, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're instead of doing all this stuff that they're sticking to, they're going back and now tinkering with the software that's already in there for updates. Now, the last time they did this, from 2005 when the Xbox 360 launched to 2009, the failure rate of Xbox was 54.9%. More than half of your consoles sold in that time died, and I can attest to this because during that time I went through 4 360s.
Wow.
So how bad are you trying to rush out a fucking product that you're not even paying attention to that is going to do the same thing again? Because firmwares brick things, especially a firmware on day one that's going to alter how the system was built to work.
Yeah, alter a huge amount of it. And yet, and this is the thing that really gets to me, I read the comments, I'm in the forums and on the Twitters, and there is a surprising amount of people that they're like, oh, well, they changed that. I'll totally get one now. I'm totally fine with Microsoft now. Why?
Why?
Why are you fine with them now? If anything, you should have less faith in them.
Their
It
phone failed in the last 2 years. Windows 8 is a commercial freaking failure. No one likes that freaking Windows interface that they're trying to share across everything. And now
Mhm.
all this flip flopping, lying to you just outright to your
Yeah,
face.
pretty much. And to think, all it took for them to walk back all their bullshit was basically everyone in the world getting mad at them. Which they didn't think everyone would get mad at them when they're like, oh yeah, we want to spy on you at all times, and and you can't do this and you can't do that, so yeah.
So
Did,
yeah, you're
did,
fucked.
do they not do focus groups? Do they not talk to people? Are they so insulated in their freaking money-soaked boardrooms that they just forget how normal people act?
It's like they had no actual research and development. They
No,
never sent out one person to ask what the customers wanted. AKA, they pulled a Sony last generation.
basically.
Sony came out of the PS2 going, we're the fucking kings. Whatever we do, people will follow. And
Yeah,
guess
we're the
what?
best. Yeah,
It fucking
didn't
flopped
work.
them. They were
Yep,
a year late. Their console
yep,
didn't have any big titles. And I'm
yep.
saying this as a current PlayStation fan. I was not
Same.
back then
Oh,
because
and
they fucking dissed the shit out of me.
and I'm agreeing too as a current
Yeah,
PlayStation
they,
owner. I'm like,
they
yep,
shit on us PlayStation guys to the point where I didn't even want to play my PS3 or didn't even want to buy one anymore. I wasn't
yeah.
buying any games on it. But guess what? They swung back and gave me great games. These guys are doing the exact thing that Sony did, except the problem is they don't have the games.
No,
I can play the Call of Duty on the other consoles.
yep.
You're
Well, I mean,
exclusive. I mean, you have Halo. That's cool. I'm not a Halo guy anymore. For me, finish the fight was number 3, and I finished the fight.
I finished it, and everything after that is just icing. You're putting too much icing, guys. This cake is 90% icing now.
Just I don't even know what the hell Microsoft's doing anymore. I just don't. They're gone insane.
Well, hey, it's what's that thing? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You can only be at the top so long.
Well, there was actually a new article posted on Forbes. Yes,
Uh,
people, I actually read Forbes. I like to
ooh.
get educated on everything that's going on in the world. That's how I know stats off the top of my head.
You like to
So
be edumacated.
so
You
when you
sit there in your smoking jacket reading your Forbes.
when you guys question my knowledge on Iron Man being a B-list character prior to his movie, I'll bust some knowledge on you. But
Some
anyway,
mad
they
knowledge.
had a great article saying, "Is Microsoft the new IBM?"
Ooh.
And the moral of the story is yes and no. Their entertainment division side, yeah. Their other side with OSs, not yet because Apple hasn't taken over. But guess what? Apple's catching up, guys.
I had an uncle who actually worked for IBM. Now he works for hotels doing the card things. Like those key cards you
Oh,
get when
yep.
you go to. He does that now.
Huh. Yep. So I'm just saying, Microsoft, it's, you know, I want to love you guys, but you're literally just shoving dry shit in my ass like branches.
It's like, and we're gonna keep doing it until you love us.
Yeah, we're gonna keep shoving these dry branches in your ass until you love it. It's like,
Until
but I
you.
don't.
No, you love what we tell you to love.
So is there anything else we want to talk about, Joel?
I don't know. We basically all lined up and curb stomped the flip flop box for a little bit, which I think is becoming a new thing for video game podcasts across the board. That's the new thing where it's like, let's see, can we shit on Don Matrick a little today? Well, can we beat up on the Xbox a little?
It
Has Phil Fish done anything stupid?
it was bad enough when I listened to an official Xbox magazine. Like, they're all fanboys, and even they're stomping on it.
I
Like,
mean,
your number one
you know.
fanboys are stomping on your fucking stupid decisions. So
Yeah, well, I hope they get their shit together because again, I harbor no ill will for Xbox owners and fans. I wish we could all happily play games together in a great utopia, but unfortunately, that's not the world we live in.
no, not at all.
Unfortunately, it's a world filled with fucking DRM, unnecessary multiplayer, and a bunch of DLC.
Oh, and buying action figures to unlock trophies now. That too.
Yeah, that too. Hey, but on the bright side though, on the 15th, we're gonna be getting friggin' some more Grand Theft Auto 5. Talk
And
about the multiplayer.
And that's our cue that we will be back then to talk about it, guys. So let us know what your thoughts are on some of these ideas. If you're still getting an Xbox One and why. If you're
Yes.
getting the Xbox One, please post in the comments. I'm
Yes, by
not
all
insulting
means.
you. I want to know what your reasoning is now.
Yeah, but we genuinely want to know
If you have a
what's
good
the
one,
thought
I'll
process.
read it on the next show. If you want to
Yes,
call into the
please, please.
voicemail, leave a voicemail. You have 2 minutes to tell us why, and I'll play it back. just get your words out correctly, because I want to hear coming from guys that want to get the box.
Oh,
Why?
hey, speaking of which, didn't we say we would answer some questions on last week's show? Although
Shit.
I don't think anybody actually asked any game-centric questions. They were all like, who would win in a fight, a Dracula or a great white shark?
All right. The answer is Sharknado.
Sharknado, of course, would win this fight,
So
yes.
later, people.
And ask some game questions, and we'll answer them next show.